In the heart of Africa and the Middle East, where the sun rises on a world of boundless potential, there's a name that brings hope. Beulah. Every day, Beulah touches the lives of billions, quietly working towards a brighter future for everyone. We're more than machine manufacturers. We are your everyday partner, committed to harnessing the vibrant diversity of this continent to create a brighter future. Since the early 1970s, Beulah has had a strong presence in the Middle East and Africa region, which comprises 78 countries, each with its own culture, challenges, and opportunities. Beulah supports customers locally in 19 offices, complemented by 16 service stations and 2 manufacturing sites. We believe knowledge is key when put into practice, which is why in our 3 application and training centers in Abidjan, Nairobi, and Kano, we offer various trainings, trials, and laboratory services for the food and feed processing industry. Despite our region's rich potential, we are confronted with distinct challenges. Climate change is reshaping landscapes, while shifting market trends pose new obstacles. Food scarcity remains a pressing issue for many. In many African countries, desertification and crop reductions, often attributed to climate change, result in post-harvest losses of up to 30% annually. Ethiopia alone experiences the loss of approximately 10 million metric tons of crops each year. We're committed to delivering solutions that acknowledge both the challenges and the immense potential within our region. Beulah isn't just a name, it's a promise. We're here to bridge these gaps, to transform challenges into opportunities, and in close collaboration with our local partners, we strive to establish a world where safe, nutritious food is a fundamental right, not a luxury. Innovations are in our DNA. We believe in the transformative power of data, not just in shaping industries, but in strengthening communities. We aim to share knowledge, provide guidance, and inspire others. Beulah is your trusted partner for life. Join us on a journey to build a world where every sunrise brings hope, every meal is a moment of joy, and every hand finds support in the face of challenges.
An estimated 1/3 of the world's food is lost or wasted each year. In South Africa, this equates to about 10.3 million tons of food, costing the country over 61 billion rand, more than 2% of its annual GDP. Beyond the economic impact, food loss and waste leads to greenhouse gas emissions, wastage of environmental resources, and has a devastating impact on biodiversity. In a country where 1 in 5 households have inadequate access to food, addressing food loss and waste is also a humanitarian issue. As a response, GS1 South Africa, trading as the Consumer Goods Council of South Africa, is leading a cross-industry effort aimed at tackling food loss and waste throughout the entire value chain.
Food loss and waste is a national imperative due to the high levels of hunger and food insecurity in South Africa. The Food Loss and Waste Initiative is one of the key actions and major contributors for South Africa in reaching the SDG goals.
The Food Loss and Waste Initiative is a voluntary agreement addressing Sustainable Development Goal 12, with the specific target to halve food loss and waste by 2030.
What has been instrumental in the success of this initiative is the collaborative way that the CGCS has worked with the various government departments, including key partners, the Department of Trade, Industry and Competition, and the Department of Forestry, Fisheries and Environment.
The agreement has leveraged local and international expertise, and there is an overwhelming commitment to reduce food loss and waste, to uplift people, protect the planet, and preserve profit.
The value of the voluntary agreement on food waste is really about the how. How do we do it? How do we come together collectively as the value chain? How do we share good practices so that we can all do our bit towards reducing food waste and rescuing food that is fit for human consumption and directing that towards the vulnerable in our country.
It's very much a business goal of ours to decrease waste, because we are wasting resources, cost of goods, human and physical resources. And at the same time, we also know, we understand well that there is an impact on environment and ultimately on people.
If everybody had access to food, we'd have a healthier South Africa, we would have a stronger economy, we'd be less burdensome on the health system, and we would have more people that would be able to participate in the economy more meaningfully.
The South African Food Loss and Waste Initiative is first of its kind in South Africa and Africa, and the conversations around this initiative have influenced the establishment of a CGCSA Foundation, which we're hoping will continue to do more public good.
With a growing number of signatories on board, sharing best practices and expertise, the Food Loss and Waste Initiative is a key contributor towards South Africa's sustainable development efforts. Join us in building a more environmentally sustainable and food secure nation.
Hello and welcome everyone to our launch event for the AFMASS Food Manufacturing and its co-located events. We are quite glad to host you, whether you are on this platform, on YouTube, LinkedIn, our Facebook page, or on Twitter. And then for those who probably will not have had chance to be here with us today, we'll have these available on demand, and we shall also be sharing it out there with our followers. So for everyone, I think this is a wonderful opportunity for us to probably get to know each other and know a little on what is going to happen next week. We thought this was something that was very, very many months away, years actually, when we started planning for this year's event. But now I think there is no more time to waste. So we'll probably just start off and welcome all of you. This year's event is fairly different from what we had last year, we've had a lot of innovation to try to bring a lot more stakeholders into the room. The food industry is integrated with a lot of other sectors. So whether in the hotel and restaurant space, whether it's the packaging materials and solutions, whether it's in the livestock, poultry and animal feed, or the fresh produce, all these are one value chain. And the way we look at it is, at the end of the day, when I walk into an expo, I'm looking for all manner of solutions. And I might be looking for an ingredient, I might be looking for packaging solutions, I might be looking for logistics. But at the same time, there are also industries that are very much near the food industry. Some of the largest food companies are also manufacturers of home and personal care products, the likes of Unilever, for example. And what we see even in this region is that lots of the HPC manufacturers, the home and personal care manufacturers, actually food companies. So this year we've added the home and personal care. So just a little bit about us. So I'm having a small presentation, then I'll bring in some of our partners, sponsors especially, and to say a word, and then also just welcome you to the event. Our company has been in existence since 2012, so 13 years of operations. We have 9 news sites. We'll go through them a little bit, especially for those who have never really, you probably know about AFMASS, but you have no idea what else we do. This is a good opportunity for you to get to know about us. And then we have a total followership of over 60,000 on LinkedIn on these 9 brands. We have 28,000 LinkedIn newsletter subscribers. Each of our publications has a LinkedIn page and also has a LinkedIn newsletter. 20,000 email newsletter subscribers. When we started out, our first website, 2016, that's when we started putting together email newsletters. You can see that the world has really changed from the direct email newsletters we used to have. There's probably now more followers on what we do on LinkedIn and other platforms than on the regular email. We've welcomed more than 300 companies working with us to advertise or to exhibit at our events over the years. For those who probably just know us as AFMASS, some people even say, Juma of AFMASS. The fact is we have more than just AFMASS. We publish magazines, and our first magazine was called Food Business Africa. That came out in February 2013. So 12 years of publishing food business. We've been changing our maybe not really changing, building a much more bigger space for our magazines. Especially we saw there was a bit of space to cover East Africa together with the Middle East. So our publications now have a focus on the African continent and the Middle East. Not that we've covered everything we need to do in Africa, but the fact is we needed to provide a bit more to our readers in that space. So Food Business Middle East and Africa is our oldest publication, comes out every 2 months. That covers the beverage sector, coffee and tea, covers cocoa, confectionery and snacks, and anything in between. But really our focus really with food business has really been around the beverage space. And whether it's beer or soda or water and things like that, you find companies in that space probably prefer Food Business Middle East and Africa. Over the years, we found that only one magazine would never be able to cover the industry. So we introduced Milling, Middle East and Africa, which has been with us now for the last 2 years. That covers grains and milling, bakery and snacks. Probably one of our most interesting publications from the followership that we see. Dairy Business Middle East and Africa is really focused on dairy. The dairy sector over time probably thinks about their own sector. And this has been up here for the last 1.5 years. One unique thing with all these websites, each of them has, all the magazines, each of them has a website. We update news there daily. So if you can just reach out after this podcast, you can be able to probably see the latest news in each of these sectors. One of our newest publications is HORECA, the hotels, restaurants, and catering, and also food service. So HORECA came out early this year. So this goes to hotels, restaurants, resorts, and all manner of places. And very interesting for us actually, because for long we struggled to cover the hospitality sector. Agri-tech, Middle East and Africa, is not really new. This is something we've worked on for a number of years, but we are relaunching it early next month after AFMASS. Agri-tech is on agriculture, and it's probably one area that we had left out for a few years, but we are back with it. Feed business, Middle East and Africa, is animal feed, and really, maybe it's still a lot of milling companies have run animal feed plants, but we kind of felt like we were giving feed the short side of of attention. So we have a magazine that has really, I think, probably our leading light. It was introduced late last year. Packaging, Middle East and Africa is on packaging. So anything around paper, glass, label, and technologies around packaging, that has been going on for 2 years. We see a lot of opportunities for growth in packaging. The last two are very different because the first 7 magazines have a lot of food-related things to them. Healthcare is a magazine for the healthcare sector, has been running for 3 years. It's the only magazine really of healthcare in this region, and we see very good opportunities for growth going forward. And the last one is home and personal care. As I said before, as we just started, the home and personal care industry, we see lots of opportunities for growth in this space. And now we have a particular magazine and website just focused on the healthcare space. I'll move in a bit faster now. So all the 9 magazines and websites are opportunities for advertising. So whether you want to do print ads or you want to do website banner ads, you want us to probably do a webinar for you in a platform like this. You can also do email newsletter advertising. Our email newsletters go out twice a week, lots of it Monday and Thursday or Tuesday and Friday, depending on the publication. And then social media advertising. So whether we are running for you an ad on email newsletter itself or on our social media email newsletter. So directly now to the point at hand. What we're having this year is AFMASS Food Manufacturing, the 10th edition. The first one was in 2015. We held this at Strathmore University here in Nairobi. And over time, AFMASS has grown really to a point that we needed to add in a bit more. So this year we have the Hotels and Restaurants Expo, which is new. Poultry and animal feed has always been that part of AFMASS, but we kind of felt like we needed to give it a bit more focus. AFRIPACK Expo, that is the packaging technologies. Especially more interesting for us is the packaging materials. Are you looking for a label, a can? Are you looking for glass? Are you looking for things like that? Because we find that we have lots more of inquiries for packaging materials at AFMASS. And then this could also be packaging technologies, could be end-of-line solutions, scanners, anything like that sort. So we have a few companies providing packaging solutions this year and packaging materials. Please come to AFMASS and you'll see a bit more. Fresh produce is anything around fruits and veg processing and packaging. Logistics, really anything requires to be moved, whether it's through cargo, through the shipping lines or trucks, and then the Africa Home and Personal Care Expo. I guess this is our most complicated AFMASS. For some of our exhibitors, they probably feel like we brought too many things, but I think when you come to the event, you probably find a bit more interesting things going on. Okay, so key highlights this year, we have a vibrant expo hall. We're expecting at least 90 companies this year, and in various sections, and we'll go through that. We have a high-level summit, which will cover food, and then also one or two sessions on HORECA and logistics and HPC, the home and personal care. This year we introduced a cooking demonstration, which we'll discuss a bit later. And then we have networking events. We have a gala dinner and then a networking cocktail. Yeah, the integrated events, we probably have talked about them, and you'll probably see that as we go on. So I'll say our plans at a glance. If you are coming in as an exhibitor, we would like to welcome you to the event from Tuesday at 12 p.m. Why? Because there's quite a lot of building that we are doing. Ourselves, we move on site on Saturday. We have a lot more booths to be built, special booths. What we need with companies that have given us the opportunity to build for them booths, we want to just walk in, come in with just to have a look. There may be a small thing that needs to be adjusted, but when you walk in on midday on Tuesday, you will find everything set up for you. For the companies that need maybe to do branding on their walls with stickers, there's adequate time from 12 p.m. to put in your stickers. You already find tables set up. You already find power has already been put in. So your setup should probably take an hour or two. Then on Wednesday, which is the first day of the event, the expo hall opens at 9. The conference itself starts at 10 a.m. and then we close the day at 6 p.m. I know at the end of the day, people will be fairly tired, so there won't be much activity on Wednesday. On Thursday, we open at 9 a.m. the expo hall. 10 a.m. we have the conference hall opening. We continue with our discussions at the conference. We close at 6 p.m. At 6:30 p.m. we have the official gala dinner. We saw the challenge of moving things around last year. So this year we have one extra hall which will be set up for the dinner so that we don't move around. Westlands is very busy in the evening where we are hosting the event. So we're just setting up the dinner right at the exhibition hall with the food served by one of the hotels that are our partner hotels this year. On Friday, we open at 9 a.m. The conference opens at 10. We close the expo at 6 p.m. The executive networking cocktail takes place from 6:30 p.m. on the last day. This is different from our official gala dinner. This is more like a technical executives from the food and manufacturing sector largely. And there are those who already know that they are attending that. I think from the growth of the event from 2015, the sponsors have always been really key to us, enabling us to cross the line, especially around the cost of hosting an event. So we've always worked with Beulah over the years from 2017. That's a long time. And over time, other companies, so Kerry is a technical session sponsor, Dollar is a technical session sponsor, AGF Freezers is new with us this year. Please come and meet the team from AGF. They have fairly new staff that we've never held at AFMASS and the other events that we have. IFF it's a big brand, but they are showcasing their home and personal care solutions this year. So please come to have a look at what they're offering in the laundry sector and the home and personal care sector. We have a new supporter this year from South Africa. Consumer Goods Council of South Africa is a trade body that has thousands of members within the manufacturing and retail sector. And we are really happy to work with Consumer Goods Council of South Africa. They are our official dinner sponsor on day 2. And then we have food companies that have always worked with us, through the thick and thin, Bekex and Broadway, the Broadway group, helping us to navigate and also to showcase their products. And I think one thing with AFMASS is the addition of the food companies is always a good one. At AFMASS and all these events, you can always come in hungry and you leave when you are fairly well fed. So if lunch is, if you're running late, please just walk in. There'll be something to taste from our food company sponsors. So Capwell Industries, also a long-term partner. Rasco Foods is a new supporter. And please come, you'll see many things that they do have. And then our last partner here on our list is ABLM, which is a network of African aquaculture business leaders. Aquaculture is one of our key topics this year, and we'll be having a nice session on aquaculture that will also introduce you to ABLN and the network that they have. In terms of exhibitors, I think as we do these last few weeks, these last few days, my team is also busy getting in new exhibitors. But the ones that we have here, we have had long-term companies. Bosch has been with us, Reda, Mane, I call it Mane, but the team there call it Man. Altin Bilek, we've gone around with them, Dormans. We have PIL, we have companies that have worked with us for many, many years. And also, I think one of the unique things this year is that we've had lots of new companies, new food companies like Brown's Cheese. We have had the likes of McDave that are in the HPC manufacturing space. Festive has always been with us over the last 2 years. Miande has come in, we work with them a lot, even on advertising over the years. Ladoga Group from Russia coming in with their alcoholic products, Bastak, Cape ingredients, GAP, technology provider into the HORECA industry, Skypex, bakery solutions. So we have a whole range of companies, and I'm sure when you get to the event, you probably even see a bit more than what we have on this list. Our conference this year is fairly mixed. Day 1 and 2 is focused on the Africa Future Food Summit. There are a few speakers that maybe need to put in some photos, but that will be ready early next week. This year we've introduced a fairly new concept, the Africa Taste Masters Culinary Festival. This is a live cooking and demonstration by leading chefs from the region here. So we have a number of hotels that we partnered with. So we have Chef Master Show, which is more like our regular cooking at home, so maybe rice dishes and things like that. We have a baking and pastry show, which will now be more on baking. We have meat. Mix Masters is on the beverage mixing stuff, and then coffee and tea. So there's a particular setup that we have for this, and through the partnership that we've had, especially with our food company partners led by Capwell Industries through their PAL, Tritos and Soko. So PAL, Tritos and Soko are the title sponsor for the culinary festival, and then Broadways is supporting us with their bread, with the ice cream, Leon's Made and Leon's with their mustard and mayonnaise, Da Vinci, which is a brand from Kerry with their syrups, Fulka. Please come and have a taste of Fulka, which is supporting us with their wheat flour, both wholemeal and white. And then Tastecraft is also a syrup from Dollar. So there'll be a lot more activity this year. And then our partner hotels, Park-In by Radisson, Hyatt Place and Hyatt House, all in Westlands, Saroba Hotels and Resorts, Best Western Plus, Westlands, Novotel Westlands, and Agile Hotel. There's a mistake there, Agile Hotel. These are our partner hotels, so we're working with them on the festival. And then also, if you are traveling for the event and coming in from wherever, we like to encourage you to sign up and maybe for your accommodation in one of our partner hotels. There'll be a bit more people coming into the event, staying at these hotels, and you'll have that community with you even when you go back to your hotel in the evening. As I finish, I probably want us to give you a kind of a sneak preview of what we are looking at in the next year, and as we go later in the year. So our Africa Food and Packaging Awards is coming in this November. We were meant to have it within this week, but we decided to move it. So entries are open, and this is going to be much bigger than what we've had before. So if you have a new project, you have new products, you have initiatives, please take your time to go to the website and do some nomination. In March, we have a plan to go back to Zambia. This is probably one of our best events. And because of COVID, we've never been to Zambia since 2019. And Zambia brings for us the industry in Southern Africa. So Zimbabwe, Malawi, Southern DRC, Angola, Botswana, Mozambique, South Africa, very well represented at the event last time. So this is going to be our first event early in the year in Lusaka. The website will be ready by the time you come to the event. If you want to sign up, please join us at that event. February, we have a new event for the dairy sector, which is more on dairy innovation, so new technologies and stuff around dairy. This event was meant to be in October, but decided to move it to February, early in the year, when things are a bit early in the year, so that we can get the best out of it. That website will be ready. In May, we have African Nutrition and Health Symposium, which is a new event. We've been thinking about this for some time, but now with our foot on the healthcare side and foot on the food and agri side, we probably think this is the right time to do this Nutrition and Health Symposium. It's going to be, when you say Nairobi, especially for the Dairy Summit and Nutrition and Health, this might not really be Nairobi, might be one of the destinations around Kenya. We'll advise as we get nearer. Now, in July, we are back with the AFMASS and co-located events. And these events are happening on 17th to 19th of July at the same location. So we like you to look at the floor plan as you get to the event and book your space. But what we are going to do next year is actually to separate the halls. So those who are on the food and hospitality side will be on one side. And then those who are on the manufacturing side will be on one side. So our 11th edition of AFMASS Food Manufacturing, the name changes a little bit to Africa Food Manufacturing, but still AFMASS is really what we are used to calling it. That will be co-located with the AFRIPACK Expo, which we are doing this year. And then Africa Pharma Manufacturing, because on the pharma manufacturing side, we've gotten quite a lot of inquiries to bring in some pharma manufacturing companies, technologies. And then the Africa HPC Manufacturing will now be HPC, not the longer home and personal care. So what we are looking at next year is actually what we call the Africa Manufacturing Week. The event happens over 3 days, but I think the first 2 days will have some activities, probably some field visits. Next year, we are also looking a lot to work with government agencies to have a bigger week. So look out for that. And with that, I probably have done my presentation, and I would probably want to give some opportunity to any of our sponsors that is around, or any of our speakers that could come in and maybe welcome people to their booth. So here I'm seeing Beulah. Yeah. So I'm seeing someone from Beulah. And Kit, you want to give us some little bit on what you want to do at AFMASS?
I'm not sure. Can you hear me, Francis?
Yes, I can see you, Ankit.
Okay, perfect, Francis. Thank you very much for giving us nice introduction for AFMASS. We are really happy to be part of this event this year as well.
Yeah.
As you rightly mentioned, we are doing it from last 10 years. So yeah, we are thrilled to be part of this food industry, gathering. Definitely, we are expecting that we meet some industry leaders, innovators, and the people who can really bring the change. Our mission is to create innovations for the better world, and we are very proud to be a global technology partner for the food and the feed industries, committed to driving sustainable solutions to ensure food safety, quality, and efficiency. So at AFMASS, we are showcasing some of our most impactful technologies that that can transform food processing across Africa, from grain handling to milling to the food processing. Bueller is enabling producers to optimize operations, reduce waste, and increase profitability. One of the highlight at our stand is we are displaying a Roastmaster 20, a coffee roaster, and a Sortex Spark Pro, designed for the flexibility and scalability, and it is an ideal solution for the growing need of African market. Uh, we invite everyone to explore our displays. Please ask questions with our industry experts and discover how Bueller can support your journey towards innovation and growth. And my last, let's say, line is that let's participate in this global event and let's shape a better future for the food. Francis, over to you now.
Oh, thank you, Ankit, and thank you again for Bueller and the team for standing by and giving us the support. You know, the first time 2017 is a long time now, but you know, 8 years of partnership is not easy to get to 8 years, and thank you for the support. I'm not seeing any other person here that is on my stage. So is there somebody with a question? I've been looking at the comments. Probably I'm not seeing someone who is asking a question. Is there anybody who is within who probably wants to be heard, or maybe any question that we can pick? Okay, so here I'm seeing Dr. Hussein Shokba. Do you have a question, Doctor? Jaffa, I'm seeing David Sweeney. Okay. My technical guys, is there somebody that we need to have speak? Okay. I'm seeing Bridget here from CGCSA. Welcome. Samuel Jenga. Yeah, so we've got quite a bit of hi, and yeah, thanks for being with us. What I really think is that maybe some of our guests had a problem coming into this platform, but we do think that it's probably one of the best platforms that we've been using for quite some time. So maybe mine is to say thank you for attending this session. And for our sponsors and exhibitors, you have a good opportunity to probably make best use of your time at the event. I think my team has shared with you maybe some assets that you could use, whether it's banners or things of that sort. Please also try as much as you can to share these out with your audience. Your audience are very different from us. So if you have a LinkedIn page, if you have maybe some email newsletter that you send out, let's all come together to bring in as many exhibitors as we can. And on our side, we've done a much more extensive campaign around Nairobi and even across Africa and the Middle East. We've run social media activities from early this year. We put up billboards. We've done Google ads. We've done Facebook ads. And what we see is with our target to get at least 8,000 people into this event, we should be able, but also for us and for our exhibitors, it's important also to get quality. So the quality we see this year is also one thing that we notice is that there's probably a lot more interest we've seen this year from Ethiopia. So there'll be quite a lot of people coming in from Ethiopia, which is really interesting. One part of Africa where we've always gotten very strong representation is Nigeria. I think we've also seen that Uganda very well represented this year. South Africa, of course, from the food companies, but then also suppliers of technology will have a very good representation. India, UAE, Turkey, Europe, there's quite some good representation. Sanjay Chadi from EAGM, yes, we'll reach out to you, and we'll see how best to work together with you for the festival. So Emily Gitonga, kindly share with us posters to share on our pages. Emily, we probably need to know which company, and then we'll be able to share that. Moses from Botswana. We see you made a comment on YouTube. We'll get back to you on your inquiry. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Also, where you can look for our social media pages, whether it's the magazines that we've shown you or on the particular event pages. Please let's just join so that we form this big network that will grow our industry together. With that, I probably don't see any new inquiry, and for the sake of time, and I know it's also getting to lunchtime in Nairobi here in East Africa, let's go get some food. Let's all prepare. For our exhibitors, let's meet on Tuesday. In case of any inquiries that you need, Vivian is your link. Vivian from our office is our link, and she is able to answer any inquiries. When you get to the site, you will meet Vivian and also now the bigger team. But for any inquiry on email, just send it to sales@afripackac.net, and Vivian will be able to handle it. If you need anything, please just call us in the office, and we'll be able to. Yeah. In case you need to make any inquiry on WhatsApp, the number we have here is available on WhatsApp. It's available anytime. So just send your WhatsApp or make a call. The email is the better one, is sales@fwafrica.net for the last inquiries. We are here over the weekend, so we should be able to answer your query. How to attend the expo? I'm seeing Jennifer is asking how to attend the expo. You can go to any of the websites and you'll find an sign up. It's free to attend the event any of the days. What is important is that maybe the dinner, our sponsor and the exhibitors dinner is exclusive to our sponsors and the exhibitors, and then to our invited guests. So we reach out to some companies that we need to. If you really need to attend and you think we probably left you out, please reach out to us and we'll give you how to pay to attend. The cocktail on Friday is open to professionals and technical people within the industry. And for that, there's a small fee to pay, and it's available on the website. Okay. Control Union, Emily, yes, we'll send you the things you need to pass on the message. Brian Nganga, if you need to come to Sarit to experience it fully, which specific day can we come at Sarit so as to experience it fully? Any of the days, but day one is usually a good one. There's a lot going on, but really, I would advise you just get time. You can't be there for the 3 days, it's fine. And then also, please invite your teams. Come with anybody who is from the plant, come with somebody from marketing. Let's get those business development managers out to come to AFMASS. The plant manager, let's get the CEO, come take a walk, so that you can also plan for next year with mind, and let them also have a feel. Okay, Brian Lantron, yes, Cape Food Ingredients, yes. Let's see you next week, and thank you for support over the years. Oh, I'm seeing someone has come in. Oh, okay. So Bridget, I know it's fairly late, but we can have you maybe welcome people and tell people a bit about CGCSA. Okay, let me remove this. Yes. Hello, Bridget. We need you to mute. To unmute. Yeah.
Am I audible now?
Yes, you are audible.
Good
Sorry,
afternoon.
I saw you on the audience side. I was wondering how to bring you this side. It's good my team has brought you.
Yes, unfortunately, Matlo couldn't join us at this point, but she will be at the expo as well as the dinner to grace us with a presence and give us a wonderful presentation on CGCSA. But on that, I'd just like to say thank you for letting us be on the platform, and we are honored as CGCSA to be part of this event as well as be the sponsor for this event, and we're excited to bring sector trade collaboration into the region, and hopefully that the African countries can join us in South Africa and we combat all the issues and challenges that we encounter, and that we allow trade to flow through the different regions. So we look forward to being part of the summit, and hopefully people will join us at the dinner as well. Matlo will share a few words on the different or various things that we do in South Africa in terms of food safety and sustainability as well. So yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. And yeah, thanks for reaching out to us. It's never that easy to just get an association to come through, but we believe that through the CGCSA network, we should be having a much more African event, and we welcome South Africa fully into our events. And I think also for South Africa, a lot has gone on. For Kenyans like myself, I can just wake up and go to the airport and land in Cape Town without a visa, and all these things make it easier actually for us to do business. Thank you, Bridget. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Francis.
Okay. So with that, I would probably maybe say that we'd like to have this as a close now, but at the same time, maybe you can just take some time and have a feel of what our partners and sponsors are doing in the industry as we close. Thank you.
An estimated 1/3 of the world's food is lost or wasted each year. In South Africa, this equates to about 10.3 million tons of food, costing the country over 61 billion rand, more than 2% of its annual GDP. Beyond the economic impact, food loss and waste leads to greenhouse gas emissions, wastage of environmental resources, and has a devastating impact on biodiversity. In a country where 1 in 5 households have inadequate access to food, addressing food loss and waste is also a humanitarian issue. As a response, GS1 South Africa, trading as the Consumer Goods Council of South Africa, is leading a cross-industry effort aimed at tackling food loss and waste throughout the entire value chain.
Food loss and waste is a national imperative due to the high levels of hunger and food insecurity in South Africa. The Food Loss and Waste Initiative is one of the key actions and major contributors for South Africa in reaching the SDG goals.
The Food Loss and Waste Initiative is a voluntary agreement addressing Sustainable Development Goal 12, with the specific target to halve food loss and waste by 2030.
What has been instrumental in the success of this initiative is the collaborative way that the CGCS has worked with the various government departments, including key partners, the Department of Trade, Industry and Competition, and the Department of Forestry, Fisheries and Environment.
The agreement has leveraged local and international expertise, and there is an overwhelming commitment to reduce food loss and waste, to uplift people, protect the planet, and preserve profit.
The value of the voluntary agreement on food waste is really about the how. How do we do it? How do we come together collectively as the value chain? How do we share good practices so that we can all do our bit towards reducing food waste and rescuing food that is fit for human consumption and directing that towards the vulnerable in our country.
it's very much a business goal of ours to decrease waste, because we are wasting resources, cost of goods, human and physical resources. And at the same time, we understand well that there is an impact on environment and ultimately on people.
If everybody had access to food, we'd have a healthier South Africa, we would have a stronger economy, we'd be less burdensome on the health system, and we would have more people that would be able to participate in the economy more meaningfully.
The South African Food Loss and Waste Initiative is first of its kind in South Africa and Africa, and the conversations around this initiative have influenced the establishment of a CGCSA Foundation, which we're hoping will continue to do more public good.
With a growing number of signatories on board, sharing best practices and expertise, the Food Loss and Waste Initiative is a key contributor towards South Africa's sustainable development efforts. Join us in building a more environmentally sustainable and food secure nation.
In the heart of Africa and the Middle East, where the sun rises on a world of boundless potential, there's a name that brings hope. Beulah. Every day, Beulah touches the lives of billions, quietly working towards a brighter future for everyone. We're more than machine manufacturers. We are your everyday partner, committed to harnessing the vibrant diversity of this continent to create a brighter future. Since the early 1970s, Beulah has had a strong presence in the Middle East and Africa region, which comprises 78 countries, each with its own culture, challenges, and opportunities. Beulah supports customers locally in 19 offices, complemented by 16 service stations and 2 manufacturing sites. We believe knowledge is key when put into practice, which is why in our 3 application and training centers in Abidjan, Nairobi, and Kano, we offer various trainings, trials, and laboratory services for the food and feed processing industry. Despite our region's rich potential, we are confronted with distinct challenges. Climate change is reshaping landscapes, while shifting market trends pose new obstacles. Food scarcity remains a pressing issue for many. In many African countries, desertification and crop reductions, often attributed to climate change, result in post-harvest losses of up to 30% annually. Ethiopia alone experiences the loss of approximately 10 million metric tons of crops each year. We are committed to delivering solutions that acknowledge both the challenges and the immense potential within our region. Beulah isn't just a name, it's a promise. We're here to bridge these gaps, to transform challenges into opportunities, and in close collaboration with our local partners, we strive to establish a world where safe, nutritious food is a fundamental right, not a luxury. Innovations are in our DNA. We believe in the transformative power of data, not just in shaping industries, but in strengthening communities. We aim to share knowledge, provide guidance, and inspire others. Beulah is your trusted partner for life. Join us on a journey to build a world where every sunrise brings hope, every meal is a moment of joy, and every hand finds support in the face of challenges.